Larry Kudlow is the host of Kudlow on Fox Business. Larry, I have to get up early to get an opportunity to talk to you, my friend. So it's good to see you today. What do you think? I just want to put this number back up, and Edward just mentioned it. The median price of existing homes, look at this. Over the course of the Biden administration and into this year, went up 56%. That's the median age of, yes, so here we go. Up 56%. Single-family homes up 57%. Condos and co-ops up 45%. That's extraordinary. I can't think of any other part of the economy that has risen more than 50% in the last 4 years. What is going on in your opinion, Larry?
Well, look, the last 4 years, so most of that's during the Biden years. And
right.
I think one of the biggest problems in the Biden years, as J.D. Vance pointed out last night, is the immigration problem. I mean, you had whatever the number is, 10 or 15 million or more coming across the border and seeking shelter. All right, they're driving up rents and they're driving up home prices. And this was just a wave that we could not accommodate. And at the same time, I think it's important on the regulatory front, okay? Zoning laws, particularly local zoning laws, Martha, were tightened appreciably during the Biden years. They didn't want to build housing. You had a lot of environmental, greeny people weighing in, and they preferred public housing rather than single-family homes or new rental housing. So you have a shortage of housing, basically. I think that's a big part of the story. The other part of the story, though, is crucial. Look, growth solves these kinds of problems. Growth, okay? Growth puts income in your pocket, and income allows people a down payment for a nice new home. Now, one other thing I want to mention. You go all the way back, the COVID mortgage was, I'm going to say, Martha, 2 to 3% in a lot of cases? So you got people sitting in homes right now. Right. They don't want to sell their house because the mortgage might be 6 or 7. I guess it's closer to 6 now for 30 years. That's pretty good. It's come down a point. But I'm just saying they don't want to give up their 3% mortgage. But the biggest point is growth. I mean, Trump's got a growthy plan. He's got a very growthy plan.
And
that's going to be the ultimate solution.
I think, absolutely. I hear everything you're saying. And what the White House seems to be saying and has been saying for a couple months is that they expect that growth to kick in the beginning of 2026 in a meaningful way as a result of a number of policies. But do you support, there's a piece this morning on a Marshall Plan for housing. Do you support perhaps a, pre-tax dollar down payment plan or a tax incentive for first-time home buyers? Would you support those policies?
Well, I got to look at the details. Some of that stuff sounds okay. So, I wasn't crazy about the 50-year mortgage. In fact, I don't think that was a good idea at all. But if you want to let people come in on a pre-tax basis, let me take a look at it. I'm not quite sure. I think that, can I just come back to this, what I regard as the essential point? You have a program which is starting to kick in. I mean, if the Democrats would stop sabotaging it by shutting down the government. But you had 3.8% growth in the second quarter for Trump. The Atlanta Fed says 4% in the third quarter. All right, now the data is going to be sketchy, and Kevin Hassett is saying because of the shutdown, we're going to lose 1.5 to 2 points on GDP in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. That's very unfortunate. It was a pointless shutdown. But next year, withholding tables change. So these tax cuts are going to kick in. The business tax cuts have already kicked in, and there's a business boom going on for machinery and equipment and factories and whatnot. And that's great for income. That's higher income. It's going to be great. Now you got for individuals, right? You got tips. You got the overtime, you got the seniors, you got the rise in the standard deduction. Probably a couple of $100 billion in refunds will hit next year, either in the first quarter or the second quarter, or maybe phasing in. That's going to be fabulous for growth. That's going to give income for people. Now, look, inflation's coming down. I mean, 28 states right now have $2.80 gasoline. So you're getting a big break of inflation.
Plus.
But
that's
you
a
need
huge plus. And the president's talking about
you need more growth.
lowering costs for beef and fruit and a number of things through some tariff tweaks as well. So Larry, thank you so much. I couldn't agree with you more about growth, and we hope that all of those things kick in and that it helps make housing a little bit more affordable.
Growth gives you income. Growth leads to income, Martha, and income leads to home buying.
Thank you, Larry. Always good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.